turning this pallet into a dartboard stand.
The first thing I'm going to do is replace this missing board with one from another pallet and figure out the design style I want with these extra fencing strips I picked up from the hardware store. Since I already removed most of the boards from the back, I had an extra piece and I just hammered out the nails and removed them with my back of my hammer, which was not as easy as it actually looked. You may not want to bother with removing the boards from the back, but it'll reduce the weight. I did leave a crossboard at the top and the bottom on the back for support. Once I settled on the design, I cut the boards to the right length and got my nail gun out and attached them. These boards I get free from the hardware store because they're used in the shipping or something, and it has this groove cut in it, so I thought it would be perfect for the dart holder and a little shelf to hold some pins for the scoreboard. I drilled some holes for the darts and I spaced them about 1.5 inches apart, which turns out to be perfect spacing. I placed it where one of the missing pallet pieces was. There was still a little gap, so I just cut a little strip of wood and tucked it under the bottom so it would be tight fit. Then I lined up the edge on both sides. Since the top board was so thick, what I did was I decided to nail the thinner board down to the pallet board and then nail all the nails upward to attach the larger piece. So once I made sure the width was okay, I removed the larger board and nailed downward. As you can see, it's hard to get the nail gun way towards the back edge, so I had to go in at an angle and be careful that the nail didn't show through the board below. Once I had that placed, then I put the thicker board back in and I nailed upward from the board I just installed all the way across. For some extra stability, I also nailed the sides at an angle toward the back, and so that it would attach to that large block of wood. If you've never removed pallet boards from a pallet before, I would caution you to be careful with a crowbar because I broke quite a few of them in the process. I probably in the future will use my oscillating tool and just saw straight through the nail and remove them that way. Be quicker and easier. If you don't know what oscillating tool I'm talking about, check out my other video. An angle didn't go all the way in, so I just tapped them in with a hammer, which reminds me on the back side of this there were tons of nail ends, so you might want to go through and knock those sideways for safety. Next I attached the legs, which was just a 2x4. I pre-drilled a hole for the screw and then screwed the screw in, and it looks like that. One thing I didn't account for were that these little strips were a little too long. I didn't think it was going to matter, but when I went to put the 2x4 there, it interfered with the 2x4 laying flat, so I grabbed the hacksaw and I just sawed the edges off until it was flush. The other 2x4 was added to the other side, making sure the center of the dartboard would be 5/8. And I had some treated wood from another project, so I put them for the feet. It was late and I was tired, so I entered there for the night, but I do intend to put some more reinforcements at the bottom to give it some extra support. I completed this portion of the project in one day. I probably spent more time worrying if it would work. I ordered the dartboard and some darts from Amazon, and away we played. Hopefully I'll get a chance to stain it. If anybody's interested, this is what the side looks like. I just used some wood screws that are pretty long to attach to the main blocks, and then the bottom by 3 wood screws because that's what I had left. And now the measurements from the bottom to the top of the 2x4 is 84.5 inches. For the feet, I used these boards that I had that were 36 inches. The width of my pallet board on the short end was 39.5 inches. So the full width with the 2x4s is 42.5 inches. The height from the top to the center of the dartboard turned out to be around 16 inches, which allowed for the center to be 5 foot 8 inches off the ground. As you can see here, it's in the middle of that board, and there's the bracket for the center. I got this adorable scoreboard from Amazon, but I think I'm going to attach it to a swing arm so the darts don't hit it. So I grabbed an old door hinge from my hoarder stash and attached it to a piece of wood and to the back of the dartboard stand and to the back of the scoreboard. And it's going to swing like this to the back and open up when I want to use it. So here it is, and it turned out pretty cool, except I wish I had taken a moment to make sure it was straight, because it's a little crooked and it's going to drive me crazy. But there it is, folded back, and then it folds forward. And I wanted to ensure that when it was pulled forward, it stayed in place while you were trying to write on it. So I put this little swing arm at the very top there. You can see it. I also wanted to add this solar fence light so that if we were playing at dusk or dark, we could have some light on the board. This is a color changing light. So I added a piece of wood to extend it out past the edge of the dartboard so there would be no shadow on the dartboard itself. This is what it looked like at dusk and at dark. I like purple, so I left it on that, but you can change it to any color under the sun. I don't leave the dartboard out, and so it even looks cool after I remove it. This project was so much fun that I couldn't help but get this little cute beer bottle opener with a cup to catch the bottle caps. It's a little cheaply made, but I'll do what I can to hold it together. What I like is that you can remove the cup and toss the bottle caps easily. I may drill a hole in the bottom in case I leave it out in the weather on accident. I just added 2 wood screws, slipped it on, and used a rubber mallet to make sure it's snug. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please like and subscribe, and have a blessed day.